You are my destiny.
You are listening to You Are My Destiny radio show with Luca and Claudette.
From dream to reality, unlocking your destiny within. Here we go, another show. This is Luca Zanna with Claudette Lyons. You're listening to You Are My Destiny on Zanna Records Global Radio. In this show, we bring people from around the world. People that somehow, not only they are professionals or they've been professional in the music industry, but also somehow we are connected. Because in this world, I believe we all connect in some way, even through destiny. Shortly, let's go to the point. 30 years ago, I left Italy in 1998, almost 30 years ago. But before that, in 1995, I met a man at Meedem in Cannes when I was a young music publisher for a music magazine. I never suspected that meeting would have brought me indirectly to America to pursue my dreams. The man was, and it is, today's guest, Claes Cornelius, former Mega Records executive, and the man that has a lot to say about music. Claes, are you there?
I'm here.
Okay, where are you now, Claes?
Copenhagen, Denmark.
Copenhagen, Denmark.
The pond. Yeah.
How is the weather in Copenhagen, Denmark today?
Well, it's very hot, actually. So, yeah, it's been some heavy days. Yeah.
Very good. Listen, we're here with Claudia, and we wanted to ask you things that probably, we already talk a lot, me and you. We've been doing together, working on your book, but people may not know everything, because normally people know the things from outside, the artist, but normally they don't know the people behind the artist that created or discovered the artist. Claudia, before we start, you want to say something to Claes?
Yes, Claes, you are an incredible person. I want to say briefly, when I was a very little girl, one of my mother's favorite songs that she sang around the house was All That She Wants. So to be talking to you today and every day that I've had the honor of being around your energy has been kind of a little dream come true for me. It makes me think of my mom.
Wow.
Yeah.
You see that? How many people indirectly you influence, And let me spell it out to the world, because, when I say Claes Cornelius, Mega Records, maybe I'm sure people in the industry know you, but not everybody that they're normally just listening to music. Claes, talk about a little bit about what was your role at Mega Records, and what was, the artist that you had the pleasure to work with and discover.
Well, besides Ace of Base, basically I was working for Mega Song Publishing. So that's music publishing, the rights for the songs and working with the composers and so on. So I was sort of like an adjoint A&R for Mega Records for certain things, but I could work with other companies on other artists, competing artists, pretty free.
And listen, and I remember other things, there are so many other artists that I really enjoy coming from Mega Records that at the time I even didn't know they were Mega Records. For example, one of my favorite was, Disneyland DAD, a rock band that normally wasn't exactly the Mega Records style, because normally Mega Records was more in pop dance songs, and I like the story behind how you even were able to listen to their music. Do you want to talk a little bit about DAD, Disneyland After Dark?
Yes, because I was interested the moment they came in with dictaphone, small tape recorders for journalists to yeah, dictaphone.
Dictaphone
And
tapes.
yeah, and so it's like this mini recorder, and they placed it in the middle of the rehearsal room that was pretty small, and just played full blast,
Wow.
and came with that. Nobody wanted it. All the other record companies weren't it. I sort of told them also that if their name was Disneyland After Dark, they would be sued. And we would be sued, but it was released anyway. So there was a bit of a trouble with Disneyland concerning the use of the word Disneyland for a band that was playing punk, heavy metal rock of sorts on the first record. And also we realized the right company for them, because they were too rock-oriented, and we didn't see a big chance of them competing with bands from abroad, from England, from USA, and or Germany for that matter, within that type of music. So we gave them away to Medley Records, and an agreement I made with the Disneyland Corporation was that the record was taking off the market, and so
Wow. To the point.
yeah.
Wow. Interesting.
After all that
And
work.
it didn't cost zero, and no problem with Disneyland.
Wow. And one song that I think really they hit the sky for the moment. I remember when I was a young man in Italy, I was watching video music, the Italian MTV. There was "Sleeping Your Day Away." That was probably the most famous song out there in the market. Am I right?
Which one?
Sleeping the day away. The one that the big video. That was a beautiful video, by the way.
Away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was an amazing production, in my opinion. And you know what I really like about you, Claes? Many things. But one thing, first of all, I remember when we met in Midem, was your humbleness. You know, you're a very humble guy, and I give you, you give me so much, attention, and the way you were talking to me about also the story behind Mega Records, that it was almost like a fable. If you think about it, two friends, you and Kild, get together and started from a dream. And of course, you already had experience in the music. You were coming from also music background, but also coming from a little office in this Denmark, the Copenhagen, store, nautical store. And then from there, becoming a few years later, probably the biggest independent label in the world. I think that's amazing. And when we met, you were at the top of, I remember your stand at Midem. Mega Records was huge. I mean, it was as big as probably a bigger labels at the time. And you give me so much attention and time, and more important, inspiration. Because when you talk to me about the story behind how Mega Records started and the Ace of Base, that was for me the moment that my sparkle in my mind say, I want to go to America and want to pursue my dream to become a songwriter. So that was kind of that day that I believe destiny worked. And then, of course, funny thing, 2 years ago, through Facebook, we found each other. And that for me was another chapter that I can never forget. Maybe we can talk a little bit later. But Claes, tell us a little bit, anything you want to talk about today, anything maybe you want to share beside the regular questions normally we ask.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I didn't hear the full question. Somehow the sound disappeared. So repeat the last
Yeah, the full question
please.
would be if there is anything you would like to talk today, maybe something people don't ask during interview about music, about life, about anything.
Well, somehow it disappears.
Well, let's try again. Okay, maybe that we are calling Denmark. By the way, guys, this is the phone line. What is we talking about? Verizon. Verizon, do a better job. Anyway, Claes, if you can hear me, the question I had, anything you would like to say, maybe something that normally during interview people don't ask, something from Claes, what would you like to say to the world?
Well, basically, I'm educated into music publishing. So I started in Italy helping out Suono Edizioni Musicali, and it was based in Mestre,
Mestre.
On the terraferma
Yes,
of
yes.
Venice. And from there to Edition Wilhelm Hansen, and where I sort of added a whole lot of various published, like EMI music with Queen and a lot of stuff at the time. Basically publishing and, of course, promoting the writers.
Yes.
And, coming with ideas or whatever, anything goes, to promote and have some interest about a name or some compositions. And generally, yeah.
So your background started as in the publishing, but then something happened. You started to move into management around, I think was 1982 or 83. And from there, Mega Records. Briefly, what was the band that you started manage with Killed when you went back to Denmark?
Laid Back. And we had Sunshine Reggae, for example, as a big hit, all the way to...
I remember that. I still sing the song, by the way. And it brings me memories. It's an amazing song. So, Claes, those days, what do you think, right now, you look at the industry today, how much it changed the music business, especially the last 20 years. There are no more records. It's all streaming. And the record labels, in my opinion, they're almost becoming, there are no more labels. They don't do anymore the job to discover artists, but they just look at how many influence, how many followers, how many streaming do you have before even they look at music. What do you think about the difference between... Yeah, what do you think about the difference today and before?
Difference is minimal, because the way an artist makes money for the rent is playing live.
Mm-hmm.
So playing live is numero uno.
Yeah.
First of all, only thing that is really important. And if you can do that, then also record and expect some interest.
Yes. Claudia, any questions you have specifically? Maybe about, you like so much Ace of Base. Anything about maybe the day or something about connected to that?
Was one of your most profound experiences that you've had in your career Ace of Base, or is that just something from the outside? I kind of, when I hear your name now, especially because of you, Luca, I think of Ace of Base, right? But what was the highlight of your music career, from your opinion? Which artist?
Well, in terms of having like gold records,
Right.
platinum records. It's Ace of Base.
Mm-hmm.
But otherwise, I don't know. Covered a lot of different music, not just pop from a certain era. So I've worked on all kinds of jazz, rock, ladies singing soft song uh, on a acoustic guitar
Beautiful.
and things like that. So a little bit of everything.
Beautiful.
But I would like to say something because sometimes I go on. I have a lot of Facebook friends that they are Ace of Base, followers, and they like him even after so many years. And I always say, if it wasn't for Claes, you would not even listen to Ace of Base. And I'm not saying it lightly because I remember the story behind. Maybe, I think it would be fun to share with people pretty much the day when Ace of Base came to the office that I went to visit. I was so glad I was able to visit the office in Copenhagen. And they were pretty much the last door. They knocked on every door at the time. And they almost miss it, even at Ace of Base, because your assistant, what I understand, he was ready to send them home too. And then you show up at the office. Can you please visualize or at least share with the people that day, the magic day, when you walk in and there is this, I think they were the two guys, I guess they came, and you went there and somehow things changed in the world.
Well, basically, we were the last chance from the point of view of them trying Denmark, because it's very unconventional for a Swedish artist to be signed to a record label in Denmark. That's unheard of. That's completely mad.
Wow.
So, why not? Was sort of our final decision at Mega.
Yeah. What was the song that they brought and in which format? I'm pretty sure there are tapes, cassette. Am I right?
It was a cassette.
Yeah. And what was the song?
Cassette recorded, and basically we visited their working space, and that was a very small room at a college where Ulf was living. And he had more or less the same instrumentation that I had at the time.
Wow.
Meaning, a couple of samplers and a Rhythmbox and stuff like that, synthesizer. He had exactly the same synthesizer. So I was able to, understand perhaps a bit more than a normal A&R, not playing any instrument or buying any new synthesizer.
Yeah, because you're also a musician. You're not just, an executive. Many people, they may be executive, but they're not musicians. And so the point is that day that they came, the magic happened. I mean, that day, what was the song? All That She Wants, that the way they brought, the first song as a demo?
Well, I think All That She Wants was there already, and a couple of more songs. Now I can't possibly remember exactly which song. They had 3-4 songs, something like that.
And what did you see that
time.
other people could not see? I mean, you heard something that other people couldn't hear because they went through many other labels. Even your younger, your junior AR, that what I understand, it wasn't that impressed. What did you hear? What did you feel in that moment when you heard the songs?
Well, I was convinced this was a setup that would work. And, Swedes are more workers than Danes,
Mm-hmm.
and they work harder and, pay more attention to micro details
Mm.
and so on. So I was pretty convinced that they would serve and come with good material and with some help of good producers like Dennis Pop, for example. And he was the one that heard the demo first,
Hmm.
because Ace of Base was trying to making it in Stockholm, and the cassette they had given to Dennis Pop, who was
Was.
actually
I say
from
so.
Norway. Dagge Volle was
Yeah.
his name.
Yeah.
Dennis Pop.
Yeah.
And found out that he spelled his name exactly like the pop magazine my dad was working on, and that Dennis saw at his mother's place or whatever, some family place. He loved to lie on the floor, be 6 or 7 years old, and look at the funny drawings and stuff like that, comics,
Yeah.
cartoons.
Maybe
stuff.
I know, but people don't know. But your father was an artist, a famous artist. Used to make also comics, right? Among many things.
Yeah.
So that's the point. Lista, very important about the situation with the Ace of Base, because that was pretty much, I think, the biggest act that you had. But you also had other artists before that you were able to through the Mega Records license from other parts of the world, like from Italy. You had artists from Italy, artists from Germany. I remember the story about the first band that was kind of a project with the mimes. Remember the first song that Mega Records licensed. You want to talk about that briefly?
Yeah.
I think that was pretty cool.
Yeah, and that happened by chance, helping out into some music publishing that paid an advance to the composer of the song, and so they needed to somehow recoup the advance, and nobody wanted to release it, and but anyway, it got to be number one in a couple of countries.
And the name of the song, help me to remember, because I have it, but I forgot it.
Oh,
Let's see.
Can't remember right now.
I know. I forgot it too. But anyway, we live in 1983. But that was an interesting song, because I remember the video on Danish TV. The singers that were really singing it, they were like two mimes that they were wearing a mask. That was an amazing operation that guys you were able to do. I want to say something about Claes. Last year,
they were mimed.
Yeah,
they were miming to a track.
Yes, miming to a track, but they made the song to the public, and they were able to get on TV, and I think that's made the difference for the world to be able to listen to the song. And it's a beautiful melody, by the way. I think it's a classic from that time. I need to figure it out, the name now. I forgot. I found it also on eBay. I was gonna buy it to you, but unfortunately the seller it didn't make it to deliver. We had to return it. So anyway, another story about thing that I would like to say about Claes. Last year in February, I think it was 25th or 28th. I have the email from you. We sent you a bunch of songs. We wanted your opinion, and you gave us a kind of a selection of songs that you thought would be possible to put out to the world. And one song that you mentioned was "You Are My Destiny," and in the email you said, go for the radio. "You Are My Destiny" is the song that is going to have potentially become an airplay song. At the time, I have no idea how to start with the radio. I just have a computer and, start to look around. But a few months later, I want to tell you something today, Claes, so you know the numbers. Officially, "You Are My Destiny" is being played in more than 480 radios in 99 countries with more than 10,000 certified ASCAP airplays. All this done by a desert off-the-grid ranch. And you being prophetic at the least, of course I had to do the job, but you gave me the direction, and I can't believe it. Without any support, without any credentials, it's not like I was sending music from Sony Music or BMG, okay? It's Zanna Records from the desert.
Yeah.
And still, we've been able to have this song in also more than 500,000 commercial retail store in 150 countries through Mood Media. That is the number one Netherlands-based commercial provider of music. So the point is, I want to say, Claes, you were right one more time when you told us that about "You Are My Destiny." And I take so much pride in that, that I have the privilege to have you as a kind of a mentor in a way that you gave me the direction and gave us the direction. And I'm very grateful to you.
Well, thank you.
And there is so much more me and Claudia we would like to share, because since the last time I came to visit you in June, I remember 4th of June, 5th of June, we were there a few days together at your home, at your apartment, working on the book. A lot of things happen here. We need to catch up a little bit. Claudia, anything you want to say to Claes?
Yeah, Claes, every time that I've seen you on the other end of the phone there and the little video, I always feel kind of connected in a different way. Because Claes is a Taurus.
Yes.
Yeah, he's a Taurus, and his name is CLA, and my name is CLA, and I'm a Taurus. And when I saw you one day on the other end of the phone there on the video, it was so funny because we looked at each other and we both had the same glasses on, and I thought I was looking in the mirror. Yeah.
That's true. That's true. Maybe that's why I connect with you, Claes, in the way I'm a Cancer, and I connect with Taurus very well. My son is a Taurus, and of course Claudia is a Taurus, and you're a Taurus. I think that's an amazing connection we have. Well, listen, I don't want to hold you too much. I know you got things to do, but anything you want to say, Claes, that maybe you want to share with posterity. Oh, by the way, I want to thank you again for telling you to put me in contact with Alan from Phoenix, your great friend, that we're going to have on the show probably next week. And I tell you why, because this is all about destiny. You know, I met you 30 years ago, 1995, more than 30 years ago. We reconnected 2 years ago. We started collaborating, and then you put me in connection with Alan. And guess what? Through Alan, tell you the history and destiny, how it works, he made a few months ago, he put me in connection with a friend that he was at school with, and his name is Danny Saber, that is a famous producer in Los Angeles. He worked with U2 and Rolling Stones, Alice Cooper, many great guys. And on top, he was a great guy from a band, I think was named, Agent Provocateur. I mean, he's done a lot of great music even in England. Story short, we became friends with Danny, and he produced one record that I produced myself as an executive producer. It's called Live With No Regrets, all recorded analog with amazing musicians like the bass player of Ozzy, Whitesnake. His name is Rudy Sarso. Probably you know him. In the 80s was one of the top.
Yeah.
Rudy, and then his brother Robert Sarso, and then the famous singer of Candlebox, Kevin Martin. The point is I'm trying to make here,
Robin Diaz.
Robin Diaz, of course. We're all interconnected. And through you, I met Alan. And through Alan, he put me in contact with Danny. And now we are doing amazing music with Danny. We have a new other record recording this next week in Los Angeles with Danny and Rudy, that is a Cuban exile Rudy Sarso and his brother, and it's called Cuba Libre. So my point is, I really believe in destiny, Claes. I believe that nothing happens by accident. We met for maybe more reason than you can imagine, but it happens to my life that I'm very grateful that I met you the day in 1995 in Midem. You gave me the time and the honor to talk to you, but more important, the inspiration to say, I want to follow my dream. You know, if I said, if somebody, two young men like you and Kilt in Copenhagen had the vision to dream high and to create from a little back office from a nautical shop in Copenhagen, mega records, I thought everything is possible. I can, I want to follow my dream. So I want to thank you for that forever.
Well, thank you for the attention and the regard. Yes.
It's true. It's true. And I hope to influence other people in the same way like you did, because it's all about positive inspiration. And you really did it for me, and I'm grateful for that. I want to let you go, Claes. I want to say hi to Claes, Claudia.
Yes, Claes, thank you for being here today. And thank you for everything you've done for the world of music.
Well, thank you for the nice conversation about music. I love to talk about music, of course, yeah.
And maybe we can talk more soon about music, okay? I'd like to talk maybe in the next few weeks. I'm going to talk to Alan probably tomorrow. We're going to have him on the show, and we'll touch his base anyway, okay? Don't go away, Claes. Stay there 1 second. We're taking a break.
Zanna Records, Global Radio.
That was Claes Cornelius from Copenhagen, Denmark. As I said, it's a long story. Story short, I met the man in 1995 when I was a young publisher for a music magazine. And that day I meet him when, he was at the peak of his career with mega records flying very high with, ace of base. I had the opportunity to really get the inspiration that brought me all the way here to America. And the last 28 years, I've been following my journey. Claudia, anything you want to add about Claes before we move to another thing?
He just, Claes is very wise, but I think you said it right earlier when you said he's kind of humble at the same time. I think the favorite part for me so far, meeting a lot of these kind of legendary, epic artists, so far they have been so humble, but yet so wise in their skills. It's
That's
kind
true.
of
That's true.
a really nice thing to experience.
And, and honestly, another thing I want to say, I come from Italy where the industry is pretty small and it's pretty controlled in a way. But one thing I noticed, when I was a young man in Italy, young music, I don't want to call it expert, but, publisher. I was going around interviewing all these different people from around the industry. I noticed the bigger they are at international level, especially in other countries, like, I had the opportunity to interview Claes. I interviewed, for example, Tom Zutau, that was the guy they found and discovered Guns N' Roses, and other guys like that. They're always the humblest. Then when I was in Italy, I was dealing with people that they were not even cleaning their feet, and they had the attitude. So I want to say something. Claes is the perfect example when a professional has all the skills, but also has the quality as a human being. That, for me, what made the difference when I met him. Let's go back to us. I would like to play today, after we finish, our conversation, the song that Claes pointed out that last year, exactly in February, to send out to the radio and open the doors for us to the radio stations around the world. You Are My Destiny. What I'd like to talk about beside music, Claudia? Anything we want to add about our retreat or any things we want to talk about?
Sure. Yeah, let's talk about the retreat for a minute. We have a retreat coming up this fall in Sedona, and it will give anybody who's interested in a retreat the opportunity to relax, rejuvenate, restore, and I think Sedona is a beautiful place to do that. Do you, Luca?
Yeah, it's a beautiful place, but also a lot of beautiful places to go, to see, and learn skills to learn, because it's not just, staying at the pool and looking at, by the way, we have a pool. It's a beautiful pool at our retreat place. But also it's about learning skills that can help you to improve your life, from self-hypnosis to learn how to defend yourself, to also finding your goals, because I think that's another important thing. So it's going to be an amazing, of how many days, Claudia, remind me?
This is a 4-day retreat, September 21st through the 24th.
And let's give the website, Sedona, equinoxretreat.com. If you want to come, give us a call or send us an email. We have limited only 10 seats. It's going to be an amazing opportunity to, first of all, enjoy Sedona, but also learn amazing skills that hopefully they're going to improve your life. All right, Claudia, at that point, I think we should go and remind everybody that if you're interested about Luca and Claudette, you can go to our website, lucaclaudette.com. You can watch our latest videos. And then, of course, remember, we have live concerts coming directly from our bedroom. Check it out. Go to lucaclaudette.com and you can have fun also watching our live shows. I give you the floor. Last thing to you, Claudia.
Okay, we also have a book that will be released here within the next probably 4 months by Action Takers Publishing. Absolutely amazing. And that book is going to be something that I feel can touch a lot of people's lives. We talk a little bit about where we both came from, how life was, overcoming adversity, following your heart, even when it seems very, very hard to do it at times, and then eventually meeting each other. And then from that point, we talked about learning skills at the retreat. The skills that we teach, that we're certified to teach, are also skills that we utilize every day that allow us to do what we do together. And what we do together is pretty amazing, you guys.
Yes, it is. And now we leave you with our song, You Are My Destiny. It was the song that Claes Cornelius last year predicted that was going to become a hit on the radios. And with our work, we were able to deliver it to more than 99 countries in more than 500 radios now. You Are My Destiny. Talk to you next time.